Hi there. Today I'm reviewing Little John Yarn's 1920s flapper hat. So now I can crochet in a rocking chair with a hat that is styled from over 100 years ago. But would I crochet it again? That's the question. I used Red Heart Super Saver for this project. Caron and Vanna's Choice. It's right here. Why am I looking in other directions? The amount of yarn that I used was a little bit over a whole ball. So this has 170 yards for the first hat. So I want to say it was probably 190 yards for the main color, and then just a little bit for the striping. The second hat that I made used the Red Heart Super Saver. This is magenta. I used about, as you can see, half of the yardage, so it's definitely under 200 yards. It is this ball has 364 yards in it, almost a whole year. Again, just a little bit for the striping. The size hook I used was a K 6.5 millimeter. It is recommended to use a 6. However, I bumped it up because of my tension. So when we did the gauge chain, I noticed mine was a bit tight. So I did bump up to the 6.5. If you also have a tight tension on your stitches, you may want to bump up as well. Or if you want to make a bigger hat, or if you like it looser for your hair, you might also want to bump up. As far as the video, super easy to follow and super fun. She not only explains the steps involved, but then very well explains each step. This pattern could definitely be done by someone that is a beginner crocheter or new to crocheting in general. The only really advanced step would be the front post double crochet, and she explains that very simply, and also explains the front post double crochet stitch two together, or it's a decrease. Very simple and easy to follow, clear instructions in the video. Also, she does recommend a stitch marker, but the way and the ease of this pattern, honestly, I only needed a stitch marker because I kept walking away, and it was just to keep track of when I had to do 7 rows at a time. So I really didn't need a stitch marker as far as the pattern because it was very easy to follow in the videos. How long did it take to make? Well, my first hat took about 24 hours, but again, I was crocheting off and on the whole time. Plus I did have to sleep at some point because, you know, kids, you need sleep. But during that time, I would say it definitely took less than 6 hours to make, give or take. Your speed on this, because you are crocheting almost 120 stitches per row because of the way that it's styled. Now pictured here is the first hat that I made. It was close to the green and black style, and that's the Vanna's Choice olive green and just a red heart black. And that one, I accidentally twisted it too many times, so the back's a bit screwed up. And then the second one here that I have pictured is the magenta red heart and just a Caron yarn that in taupe, however you pronounce it, that the coloring in the sun looks amazing, but I'm not the hugest fan of. My only con would be the twisting in the pattern. So the way that the pattern is done, it is a Mobius strip, which is just a figure 8. And normally when you chain in the round or you're connecting your chain, you try to keep that with no twist in it. And this pattern, you actually are putting one twist in. My first hat, I forgot to not twist it so many times and ended up with 2 twists. When I went to go on my second hat, I realized, oh, I just wasn't paying enough attention, because it is clearly explained in the video and it's very easily explained on how to twist it to make it look right. You just need to make sure you pay attention and follow along with that. Now, the question of the day is, would I crochet it again? I think the question should be, is this your style? Because honestly, I am on the fence, or was on the fence. I'm not a huge fan of the style on me. I don't think it's flattering. However, my husband, he loved this hat on me. So honestly, I think if I had changed the colors, maybe gone with that hunter green instead of that olive Vanna Choice green, I probably would have liked that, or that magenta. I'm just not a fan of that magenta. It just, my colors, I just don't like it. So if I want the hat, I'm gonna have to make it again, since the first one's twisted wrong and I don't like the colors. I would probably make it in a navy blue. And then the striping, I would probably go with like this fun multicolored just to add some pizzazz. And then because the sizing I don't think would be an issue, I would make my girls this hat with a navy blue striping and then just use a 5.5 millimeter or a 5 millimeter to bring that size down to their level. Because they're 6 and 3 and their hats are small enough that that would work easily, just to size down without a hook size, without having to change those stitch numbers. And because this is a 4-weight yarn, it wouldn't be hard at all to maneuver the stitches with that size hook. I also think that styling wise, you could dress this up really nice with just a long overcoat. This is a very thick hat, so it's definitely more of a winter, a cold fall, cool spring hat. So you want to make sure you're not wearing this in the heat of the summer because you're gonna sweat. Unless it's air conditioned, and then by all means, because we know how some places just blast that sucker. But I would definitely consider also making it more modern by having the hat with like maybe a blazer and like a pair of jeans tucked into some riding boots. That would look awesome. All in all, I think this pattern is just a really nice pattern. The video is amazing. Very simple way to produce an elegant product if it's your style. Thanks so much for watching. Let me know if there's anything that you would like me to review or you would like to see in a different color or with a different style yarn. Thanks so much for watching and keep on hooking.